Switching gears now, Mumia Abu-Jamal has been behind bars since the early 1980s. He was convicted of murdering Philadelphia police officer Daniel Faulkner and originally sentenced to death. But a few months ago, the Philadelphia district attorney dropped Abu-Jamal's death sentence. His case has become very famous and also has come to symbolize some of the flaws in the court system. And Mumia himself has published several books and commentaries, including his most well-known Live from Death Row. Well, RT got an exclusive interview with Mumia Abu-Jamal, his first TV interview since getting off death row. RT correspondent Anastasia Churkina conducted that interview, which airs tomorrow. But she's in our New York studios to give us a little preview. All right, Anastasia, I gave a brief introduction of who Mumia Abu-Jamal is, but if you could just give us a teeny bit more background for our viewers about his case and also why he's become one of the most well-known prisoners in modern day.
Well, Christine, you know, Mumia Abu-Jamal has so many different names to him. He's known for so many things. Some people, of course, there are those that do see him guilty in this murder, but he has countless supporters all over the world, not just in the United States, but in Europe. He has a street named after him in France. He's an honorary award-holding member and citizen in over 20 cities. He's always been a revolutionary journalist and activist. He was a member of the Black Panther movement in his youth. We know that he was monitored by the FBI since the age of 14, and his case is really one of the most debated ones in modern legal history because of so many controversies surrounding some of the details of what actually went down. Many of Mumia's supporters say he's an innocent man and that he never killed the police officer in question, Daniel Faulkner. But as we know, of course, back in the 90s, this episode did take place. Mumia was charged with murdering this police officer, and he has been on death row for 29 years of his life. That's more than half of his life spent behind bars waiting to die in jail. However, as you mentioned, in January this year, he was taken off death row and transferred to a general population prison, and he's currently serving a life sentence without parole. And this was, in fact, the first interview since he was taken off death row with a news outlet, and he spoke with us earlier today.
And Anastasia, he is not a normal prisoner. This is a man who seems very aware of things going on outside of his prison cell. He seems well-read. Talk just a little bit about your interview.
Well, that's absolutely true, Christine. You know, of course, Mumia has weekly commentary radio publications and addresses that he posts every week. He's written 6 books. Those have been translated into 9 languages, hundreds of thousands of copies of his books published all over the world. And he is a very well-educated and well-spoken person. So we did get an opportunity to touch upon several world events taking place around us, and we spoke about the U.S. justice system. We spoke about the mass incarceration rates in the United States. One of the things we also touched upon was the Occupy Wall Street movement, because Mumia actually did endorse this movement, and this is what he had to say about it. Take a listen. Let's inform our viewers that there are some interruptions in the interview because this was a phone call from a prison, so we will hear a little bit of a break-in in terms of our conversation being listened to. Take a listen.
I think it's the beginning of the kind of uprising because it has to be deeper, it has to be broader, it has to address issues that are touching on the lives of poor and working class people. I think it has a ways to go to make
30 seconds remaining.
But I think it's a damn good beginning.
Well, certainly a lot of different topics touched upon in that interview, and of course we'll be bringing all our details and that interview in more detail and in its entirety to our viewers tomorrow.
And just real briefly, looking ahead, what does Mumia hope to focus on now that he's no longer on death row?
Well, you know, Chrissy, he's continuing his fight. He hopes to be released one day, and he was pretty expressive about this. I asked him what his message to his countless supporters would be right now, speaking to us, and this is what he had to say. Take a listen.
Organize, 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 and I love you all, and I thank you for fighting for me. Now let's fight together to be free.
Well, Chrissy, so Mumia plans to continue fighting for his freedom. He is dubbed the voice of the voiceless, and our viewers will get a chance to listen to everything he had to say to us tomorrow on RT.
All right, and we will look forward to that. Certainly a good get for an interview. RT correspondent Anastasia Churkina in New York.